Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. So glad you could join me today. One of the things that we talk about on this show is providing more value for our customers. And some of the ways that we can provide more value is by extracting more value from what we serve them. Batch brew coffee has kind of been the same for a long time. That is until the ground control Cyclops brewer came around. The folks over at Voga Coffee decided that there needed to be a change in the industry, and they invented what is easily one of the biggest innovations in brewed coffee in a very long time. The ground control Cyclops brewer gives you control over extracting such a wide range of flavors from your coffee that you never thought possible. And not only do you get to produce next level batch brew coffee with this machine, but it also provides versatility by enabling you to do hot chocolate, tea, batch diced lattes, batch cold brew, all in the same machine. And so if you want quality and versatility, you want to provide this next level experience for your customers, then I really think you should consider the ground control Cyclops brewer from Voga Coffee. Find out more information over at vogacoffee.com. That's VOGA coffee.com. So another thing that we have going on in the industry is obviously mobile ordering. And when we consider what our customers have available to them, sometimes the options are pretty lacking, especially when it comes to the experience that they have. And our customers want a great experience. That's why they come to our businesses and our brands. Now, if you want your customers to have a great experience with your company through the mobile ordering process, then I don't think you need to look much further than Espressly. Espressly works with independent coffee shops just like yours to create custom branded mobile apps. And that creates a great experience, connecting the brand experience of your business with the convenience of mobile ordering. It's such an amazing service, and it's a no-risk model because there's no setup or development fees. It integrates with Square, has receipt and label printing capabilities, drive-through payment scanner, and it keeps all the data in the app, and you also get to keep the data. So it's something I think you should really consider, especially as we try to offer more value to our customers and build that experience into what we offer them. Find out more information and sign up today over at espressly.co. That's espressly.co. All right, everybody. Well, today I wanted to talk about what to change in the new year, or at least what to focus on as 2021 comes around and as we consider what we're going to do with our businesses. Our collective energies are all sort of eyeballing 2021 to at least be less of a catastrophe as 2020 was. And so I think from my perspective, there are at least 6 areas that I think we should be focused on in order to create the best chance of success for ourselves, our staff, and our customers. And so let's dive quickly into those things. I think the first thing is systems. Obviously, we talk about this on the show a lot, but having systems is a form of caring for your staff. It's a form of caring for your customers. And without systems and processes in place, we are taking up a lot of mental energy to kind of come up with answers on the fly, things that could be sort of set in stone in policy or SOPs and checklists and things like that. If we're not putting those things together, then it's essentially like skimping on the foundation of a building. We're just asking for problems later on. These are the foundation for your operations. And the stronger your foundation is and the stronger your systems are, the better you can build on top and the more you can build. So if your business grows and you know it's very stable, people can count on it. Stability, again, is based on the foundation. And if we don't get that right, then, we don't have much to show for it when we have to tear everything down and address a problem that could have been addressed from the beginning. Now, systems are definitely things that you want to curate and adjust. Just like foundations of buildings have preventative maintenance schedules, they're not rebuilding the foundation, but they are maintaining it, and they have to reinforce, etc. So what systems do you need in your business for your operations, for your quality, for your communication, and your people? Lots of episodes on Keys to the Shop address this, so I will link to those in the show notes here, as well as a lot of other things that we go over. But that's the first thing, is systems. Second, I think, is cultural norms. We are the curators of culture. We can determine what gets put into place as a normative behavior in our stores. And I'm just reminded of how we have to have a long game view. We have a long game management episode. We talked about this, where you need to be able to see something through in the long term in order for it to actually become a normative behavior. And the thing is we look around, if you're not satisfied with how people act and what the quality is, or what things are normal right now, you have the ability to change those things. We can't be impatient with the process, though. The cultural norms might take to the end of 2021. If you start in January and you try to make 2 or 3 cultural shifts, you might just start to see them take root in December of 2021. You just have to be dedicated to that long-term shift, especially as your business might be a little bit larger. If it's just you and 2 people, you might see fruit a lot quicker, but you might have 2 or more locations, and you need to play the long game here. But paying attention to our cultural norms means not only the processes, as we talked about systems, but also the mindsets, also putting values into actions, those types of things. So I think in order to build a resilient business and have the best chance of success, we need to be paying attention to our cultural norms and shifting them into better ones continually, but with an eye for the long term. Next, I'd say is that we need to focus on our presence and being an example in the coffee bar. So if we establish systems and we want cultural norms to take root, we need to make sure that our presence is an example of the ideal that we want to other people to imitate, because people will inevitably imitate the behavior of their closest and most visible figure of authority. So manage your presence. Go in and demonstrate the kind of work ethic that you want others to do. Demonstrate the kind of quality that you want to see. Demonstrate the kind of hospitality you want people to practice. This is something that should be in our charter for ourselves, to establish ourselves as an example and be cognizant, aware, self-aware of how we are on the bar and what kind of example we're setting for our people. So the next area I think we should focus on is, as we're adding value to our operations, we need to get value for what we're doing. And not to sound crass or anything, but we really should raise our prices. And maybe you've heard this before and you just haven't done it, or you're afraid to do it. If this year has taught us anything, it's that we don't charge enough to actually be able to make enough profit to have any margin in our accounts. We need to enter into the new year boldly with the idea that, hey, it's more expensive to do business than ever. And we need to get value for this coffee. It's not getting less expensive to do this. And the customers, as you invest in them through the experiences they have in hospitality, through the experiences they have with the quality of your coffee, it is not wrong to raise your prices. Even if you just raise them a few cents across the board, it will make a huge difference in the long run, especially on the most frequently ordered items. If you've been on the fence about raising your prices, you really need to embrace this for the new year and get going. If you haven't raised your prices in 2 or 3 years, you're far behind. That is the honest truth. So look into this, make it happen in the new year, and see what can happen. You might even be able to afford to give your baristas raises, or maybe even make a profit for yourself. So this is something I think you really need to embrace for the new year and look at putting into place seriously. Do it well, do it with a lot of communication with your customers, but don't let guilt for charging more stop you from charging what your coffee and your service is worth. Just a few cents across the board can make such a huge, huge difference. So in 2021, focus on raising your prices and being more profitable. Now, part of being more profitable has to do with our next point here, number 5. You have to be lean, but excellent. Okay? Lean means you basically don't overstock your inventory. You don't have waste. You cut down on the amount of coffee and milk that you waste every day. You pay attention to your processes for accuracy. You don't have loose inventory practices where people just overorder milk and things go bad because it's not used. There are thousands upon thousands of dollars that are thrown down the sink into the garbage every single day because we don't have a tight control on our waste in our ordering. And especially, I don't think we really consider how much we're serving our customers. So we stock things that don't sell, but we want to have them for optics. Your menu should be lean but excellent. And make sure that your baristas and yourself are trained on making sure that you're minimizing waste. By focusing on these little things across the board, you can make a big difference in the profitability of your business. Let's look at the granular level of what is contributing over time to large-scale waste and loss of profit. Now, the last thing on our list of 6 things I think you should focus on for the new year is that you should focus on the connection that you have with your customers, with your community. Focusing on connection with them means you're paying attention to how they respond to the content that you put out on your Instagram, on your Facebook, wherever it happens to be in the shop. We need to be about the experience, not just in the shop, but also online. And as we heard from our past episode with Morgan Eckroth of MorganDrinksCoffee, this is the kind of thing that's going to continue to become more and more relevant. So it's not just about putting information out there. It's not just hanging up your shingle anymore. It's about actually connecting with people, which means we have to pay attention to what resonates with them and match it with what resonates with us. And when we get that together, then we get a more dedicated customer base. We get a lot more people recommending our brands to friends and family. And ultimately, it builds stability into the business as we lean into and focus on connection. So in review, we need to focus on systems, curating cultural norms, working on being an example in the coffee shop and having good presence. We need to raise our prices in our shops, and we need to focus also on having a lean but excellent operation where we cut down on our waste in our inventory. And then we need to make sure that we're connecting with our community and with our customers. These 6 things, there could be more, but I feel that they are critical. If you hit it out of the park with all 6 of these things, by the end of next year, you're going to be looking at a different business. You're going to be looking at a stronger, more resilient business. And that's what I think we all want for 2021. So I hope that this was a helpful episode for you. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you here next year on another edition of Shift Break, from keys to the shop.